Emma Williams stared out the window of her small Liverpool cottage, watching raindrops trace complicated patterns on the glass. Her life had become a challenging maze of unexpected struggles, each day feeling like a mountain she needed to climb. At 32, Emma had already experienced more hardship than most people encounter in a lifetime. 6 months ago, her husband Tom had passed away suddenly from a rare heart condition, leaving her alone with mounting medical bills and the responsibility of caring for her elderly father, Robert. The factory where she had worked for over a decade had closed without warning, turning her world upside down. Her steady income disappeared overnight, replaced by uncertainty and fear. Every bill that arrived in the mail felt like another punch to her already bruised spirit. Robert, now 78 and battling mild dementia, required constant care and attention. His medical treatments were expensive, and Emma found herself juggling his medications, daily needs, and their dwindling savings. Some nights, she would sit at the kitchen table, calculator in hand, trying to make sense of their financial chaos. Her daughter Emily, now 16, watched her mother's struggles with a mixture of concern and admiration. She had seen Emma transform from a confident, happy woman to someone constantly worried and stressed. Yet, Emily also noticed her mother's incredible resilience. "We'll get through this," Emma would often tell Emily and her father, her voice steady despite the trembling inside her heart. Those words became their family's unspoken mantra. The small cottage, which had once been a symbol of their family's happiness, now felt like a financial burden. Maintenance costs were rising, and Emma knew they might need to consider selling their home, the last tangible memory of their life with Tom. Winter was approaching, and with it came additional challenges. Heating costs would strain their already tight budget. Emma began taking extra precautions, sealing windows, checking insulation, and finding creative ways to reduce expenses. She started selling some of their unused items online, carefully photographing each piece and writing detailed descriptions. Every small amount she earned felt like a victory. Her determination was unwavering, even when the world seemed to be pushing against her. Local community members began to notice Emma's quiet strength. Neighbors would occasionally drop off home-cooked meals or offer to help with small tasks. These acts of kindness, though modest, provided Emma with hope during her darkest moments. Her routine became a delicate dance of caregiving, job hunting, and maintaining hope. Early mornings were spent preparing her father's medications, helping him dress, and ensuring he was comfortable. Afternoons were dedicated to searching for employment and managing household finances. Despite the challenges, Emma refused to be defeated. She attended free computer classes at the local library, hoping to enhance her skills and improve her job prospects. Her determination was evident in every step she took, every application she submitted. Emily watched her mother's transformation with growing respect. She saw how Emma's love for their family became her greatest source of strength. The teenager began helping more around the house, understanding the weight her mother carried. Robert, though struggling with his memory, would sometimes have moments of clarity where he would look at Emma and say, "You're stronger than you know, my dear." Those moments brought tears to Emma's eyes, reminding her of the love that sustained her. The community center became her lifeline. Here, she found support groups, job resources, and occasional temporary work. Each small opportunity felt like a lighthouse guiding her through a stormy sea of uncertainty. As autumn leaves began to fall and the air grew crisp, Emma realized that her journey was about more than just surviving. It was about preserving her family's dignity, maintaining hope, and showing her daughter the true meaning of resilience. Her story was not just about hardship, but about the incredible human capacity to endure, adapt, and ultimately triumph. With each passing day, Emma Williams was rewriting her narrative, one small victory at a time. The community center stood like a beacon of possibility for Emma Williams. Its bulletin board, filled with various job postings and community notices, seemed to hold a promise of something different. That morning, with her father's encouragement and her daughter Emily's supportive smile, she approached the board with a mixture of hope and apprehension. Her fingers traced the job notices, each one feeling like a potential lifeline. Most positions seemed out of reach, requiring specialized skills or experience she didn't possess. But then, tucked between a gardening job and a cleaning service advertisement, a small notice caught her eye. Part-time administrative work at a local family support charity. The requirements seemed straightforward: basic computer skills, good communication, and a genuine desire to help others. Emma's heart began to race. This could be her chance. Her hands trembled slightly as she copied down the contact information. Years of factory work had prepared her for organized tasks, and her natural empathy made her perfect for supporting families. She remembered how community support had helped her during Tom's illness, and now she felt a deep connection to helping others. That evening, after preparing dinner for her father and ensuring he was comfortable, Emma began working on her application. Emily sat nearby, offering occasional advice and moral support. They found an old photo of Emma from her factory days, professional, confident, and smiling. "You look amazing, Mom," Emily said, helping her mother choose the right outfit for the interview. They spent hours preparing, with Emma practicing potential interview questions and Emily acting as her supportive coach. Robert, her father, watched their preparations with a mixture of pride and concern. Though his memory often failed him, he recognized the importance of this moment for his daughter. "You'll do brilliantly," he would repeat, his weathered hand squeezing Emma's. The next few days were filled with nervous anticipation. Emma carefully prepared her documents, ironed her best blouse, and practiced her interview responses. She knew this was more than just a job application, it was a potential turning point in her family's life. The charity's office was located in an old renovated building near the town center. Emma arrived 30 minutes early, her heart pounding with a mixture of excitement and anxiety. She sat in the waiting area, surrounded by posters about community support and family resilience. Margaret Henderson, the charity's director, was a kind-looking woman in her mid-50s. When she called Emma's name, her warm smile immediately put Emma at ease. The interview felt more like a conversation between two people who understood life's challenges. Emma spoke honestly about her experiences, losing her husband, caring for her father, managing financial challenges. She didn't realize it, but her story was precisely what the charity needed. Someone who understood genuine struggle, who could connect with families facing difficult times. Margaret listened intently, her eyes reflecting understanding and compassion. She saw beyond Emma's resume, she saw a woman of remarkable strength and potential. When Emma finished speaking, Margaret's response surprised her. "We need people like you," Margaret said, offering her the job on the spot. The position wasn't just about administrative work, it was about being a supportive presence for families in crisis. Tears welled in Emma's eyes, tears of relief, hope, and unexpected joy. This wasn't just a job. This was an opportunity to transform her pain into purpose, to turn her personal challenges into a way of helping others. When Emma returned home, her family could immediately sense the change. Her walk was different, her smile brighter. Robert and Emily listened intently as she shared the news, their collective hope filling the small cottage with warmth and possibility. That night, as Emma prepared for bed, she felt something she hadn't experienced in months: genuine optimism. The world suddenly seemed full of potential, with unexpected doors opening where she least expected them. Her journey was far from over, but for the first time in a long while, Emma Williams felt ready to embrace whatever challenges might come her way. The Endemma's first week at the family support charity was a whirlwind of new experiences. The old brick building bustled with activity, filled with people facing challenges similar to those she had experienced. Each day brought new stories, new connections, and a growing sense of purpose. Margaret Henderson, the charity's director, became more than just a boss. She was a mentor who saw potential in Emma that Emma herself hadn't recognized. During lunch breaks, they would often talk about the families they helped, sharing insights and strategies. The administrative work was more than just filing papers and answering phones. Emma discovered she had a natural talent for listening, truly listening, to people's stories. Families would come in, tired and defeated, and leave feeling understood and supported. One particular day changed everything. A young mother named Lucy arrived at the charity, her eyes red from crying. She was struggling to support her two children after losing her job, facing eviction, and feeling completely overwhelmed. Emma recognized the same desperation she had felt months ago. Instead of simply processing paperwork, Emma sat with Lucy. She shared her own story, losing her husband, caring for her father, facing financial uncertainty. As she spoke, Lucy's shoulders relaxed. For the first time in weeks, she felt she wasn't alone. Margaret watched from her office, seeing something special happening. Emma wasn't just an administrative worker, she was becoming a lifeline for families in crisis. Her personal experiences transformed into a powerful tool of support and understanding. The charity began organizing support groups, and Emma quickly became a key facilitator. She helped design programs that went beyond traditional support, creating a community of people who could truly understand each other's struggles. Her daughter Emily noticed the change in her mother. The woman who had been broken by grief was now becoming a source of strength for others. Emma's evenings were filled with energy, discussing new program ideas and sharing stories of hope. Robert, her father, became her biggest supporter. Though his memory was failing, he understood the importance of what Emma was doing. "You're making a difference," he would say, his eyes shining with pride. The work wasn't easy. Some days were emotionally challenging, hearing stories of hardship and struggle. But Emma found strength in these connections. Each family she helped felt like a small victory, a way of honoring her own journey. Word spread quickly about the compassionate support at the charity. More families began seeking help, drawn by the genuine understanding and practical support they received. Emma's approach was unique. She didn't just offer solutions, she offered hope. Margaret recognized Emma's potential and began giving her more responsibilities. She was invited to community meetings, asked to develop new support programs, and became a key voice in local family support initiatives. The transformation was remarkable. The woman who had once felt defeated by her circumstances was now helping others navigate their own challenges. Emma discovered that her greatest strength came from her ability to turn personal pain into collective healing. Local newspapers began featuring stories about the charity's innovative approach. Emma found herself being interviewed, sharing how personal struggle could be transformed into community support. Her story inspired others to see their challenges as potential sources of strength. Emily watched her mother with growing admiration. The teenager began volunteering at the charity, inspired by her mother's work. Together, they were creating a legacy of support and understanding that went far beyond their own family's experience. As months passed, Emma realized she had found more than just a job. She had found her purpose. Each family she helped, each connection she made, was a testament to human resilience and the power of genuine compassion. The small cottage that had once felt like a place of limitation now became a symbol of hope. Emma's journey had transformed from a story of personal struggle to a beacon of community support. Her father's words continued to echo in her mind, "You're stronger than you know." Now, she was helping others discover their own strength, one connection at a time. Emma's work at the family support charity began to transform her entire life. What started as a part-time job became a mission of hope and healing. She discovered a hidden talent for connecting with people who were experiencing their darkest moments. The support groups she started became a lifeline for many struggling families. Every Tuesday and Thursday evening, people would gather in the community center, sharing their stories of challenge and resilience. Emma listened, guided, and helped them find strength they didn't know they possessed. Her daughter Emily started joining these sessions, helping with organizing and occasionally sharing her own experiences. The teenager was learning valuable lessons about compassion and community support. She watched her mother become a local hero, someone people looked up to and trusted. Robert, Emma's father, continued to be her greatest supporter. Though his health was declining, his pride in his daughter never wavered. On good days, he would share stories about her determination, telling anyone who would listen about his remarkable daughter. The charity work opened unexpected doors. Local schools began inviting Emma to speak about family resilience. She would share her personal story, losing her husband, facing financial challenges, caring for her elderly father, and inspire others to find hope in difficult times. Margaret Henderson, the charity's director, recognized Emma's exceptional skills. She promoted her to a leadership position, responsible for developing new community support programs. Emma's personal experiences became the foundation for innovative support strategies. Financial challenges slowly became a thing of the past. The steady job, combined with her additional speaking engagements, provided stability for her family.
Emma could now care for her father more comfortably and support her daughter's education.
Local businesses started recognizing the charity's work. Donations increased, and more volunteers came forward.
Emma's approach of genuine understanding and practical support became a model for other community organizations.
She developed specialized programs for different family challenges.
Programs for single parents, support for families dealing with illness, and resources for those facing financial difficulties. Each program was created with deep personal understanding and compassion.
Emily began considering a career in social work, inspired by her mother's journey. The teenager saw how personal struggles could be transformed into powerful support for others. Their relationship grew stronger, built on mutual respect and shared purpose. Robert's health gradually declined, but Emma ensured he received the best care possible. Those moments of caring for her father became precious, filled with love and quiet understanding. She was grateful for every moment they could share.
The community began to see Emma as more than just a charity worker. She was a symbol of hope, someone who had transformed personal pain into collective healing.
People would stop her on the street, sharing their stories and thanking her for her support. Her presentations became popular, drawing large crowds at community events. Emma would speak about resilience, about finding strength in vulnerability, about the power of human connection. Her words touched hearts and inspired change. The small cottage that had once felt like a place of limitation now became a hub of hope. Family meetings, planning sessions, and moments of quiet reflection happened within its walls. It was no longer a symbol of struggle, but of transformation.
Emma's journey taught her that life's challenges are not obstacles, but opportunities for growth.
Each difficult moment had led her to this path of supporting others, of creating meaningful change in her community. Her relationship with Margaret grew into a deep friendship. Together, they continued to develop innovative ways of supporting families, always centering their work on genuine human connection and understanding. Emily watched her mother with growing admiration. The teenager understood that true strength came from compassion, from turning personal pain into a force for positive change. She was learning life's most important lessons directly from her mother's example.
As years passed, Emma's impact continued to grow.
The support programs she developed became models for other communities. Her story inspired countless others to see their challenges as potential sources of strength and transformation. The woman who had once felt defeated by life's circumstances was now a beacon of hope. Emma Williams had not just survived her challenges, she had used them to create meaningful change, one family at a time. Her journey proved that the most powerful transformations often come from the most unexpected places, from personal pain transformed into collective healing. The 5 years had passed since Emma Williams first walked into the family support charity. The community center was packed for a special event celebrating her work. Families she had helped over the years filled every seat, their faces telling stories of hope and transformation.
Margaret Henderson stood at the podium, preparing to introduce Emma.
The room buzzed with anticipation. People whispered about the remarkable woman who had changed so many lives, including their own. Emma sat quietly, her hands folded in her lap. Her daughter Emily stood nearby, pride shining in her eyes. Robert, now frail but still present, watched from a special seat in the front row. His memory might be fading, but his love for his daughter remained strong. As Margaret began speaking, she shared stories of Emma's journey. How a woman who had lost everything had become a beacon of hope for hundreds of families. Tears filled the eyes of those listening, tears of remembrance, of gratitude. Emma showed us that our greatest strength comes from our ability to support one another, Margaret said, her voice breaking with emotion.
She transformed her personal pain into a powerful force of healing.
One by one, families came forward to share their stories. Lucy, the young mother Emma had first helped years ago, spoke about how that single conversation had changed her entire life. Now, she was a successful small business owner, supporting other single parents. A young man shared how Emma's support groups had helped him overcome depression after losing his job. Another woman talked about finding the strength to leave an abusive relationship, inspired by the community Emma had built.
Emily stepped forward, sharing her perspective.
She spoke about watching her mother transform from a woman broken by loss to a powerful force of hope. Her words painted a picture of resilience, of turning personal challenge into collective strength. Robert, with his limited energy, managed to stand. Though his words were sometimes confused, his love and pride were crystal clear. "My daughter," he said simply, "my brave daughter." The room erupted in applause. Emma, typically reserved, found herself surrounded by people whose lives she had touched. Each hug, each thank you was a testament to the power of genuine human connection. Local government officials presented Emma with a Community Leadership Award. But for her, the real reward was in the faces around her, the families she had helped, the lives she had changed. Her journey had never been about recognition. It had always been about helping others find their own strength. The charity had grown from a small local organization to a model of community support recognized across the region. As the evening continued, Emma reflected on her journey. The loss of her husband, the financial struggles, the moments of deep despair, all had led her to this moment. She had transformed her pain into purpose, her struggle into support. Emily stood beside her mother, holding her hand. The teenager had learned the most important lesson of all, that true strength comes from compassion, from turning personal challenges into opportunities to help others. The community center, once just a building, had become a symbol of hope. Within its walls, countless families had found support, healing, and a path forward. And at the center of it all was Emma Williams. As the evening wound down, families continued to share their stories. Each one was a testament to the power of human connection, of turning individual struggle into collective strength. Robert, tired but happy, whispered to his daughter, "I always knew you were special." Emma's eyes filled with tears, tears of joy, of remembrance, of pure love. The small Liverpool cottage where their journey began now felt like a distant memory. They had created something far more important, a community of support, of hope, of genuine human connection. Emma's story was more than just a personal triumph. It was a reminder that in our darkest moments, we have the power to create light. That true strength comes from compassion, from turning our pain into a force for positive change. As the last guests left, Emma looked around the room. She saw not just a community she had helped, but a testament to the incredible power of the human spirit. Her journey was far from over. But she had learned the most important lesson of all, that hope is not something we find. It's something we create, one small act of kindness at a time. The end.